Comics Plus, what's going on? My name's Akasan. Here we go behind the scenes. I am about to give my review of the latest episode of Superman and Lois. We just finished it here on Twitch and on YouTube as well. I mean, it's going to be on Patreon as well. This is episode 5, and I'm just here. I guess this is going to be the best way. I'm glad I'm doing a review for you guys now on YouTube because I just learned that Superman and Lois is not coming back for like 2 months. So they actually went on a COVID shutdown. Production went on a shutdown, so they had to delay the season a little bit. And then Supergirl is coming in, I think, next week. I guess that's how it's going to work, right? Yes, no in the chat. Probably that's exactly what it is, right? Which I understand. Unfortunately, I'm shocked because it sucks because this by far, guys, is the best time. This is one of the best shows they have produced on the CW. It's crazy how in comparison, it's only been 5 episodes, but honestly, I'm starting to feel like I'm putting this above the first season of Arrow or something like that. Possibly the first season of The Flash as well. It's very, very good. So I would say this is going to be the best time for you guys. I encourage all of you, if you haven't started it by now, this is the best time to start Superman and Lois, because it's going to be a while till the next episodes pick up. I teared up in this latest episode. It's crazy how relatable this I keep saying movie, but this show really is. And I think it has something to do with the age and the demographic. This show is made for an older audience, and when I say older, that doesn't mean it needs to be fucking edgy or fucking dark or fucking violent or mature. No, what I'm saying, it's made for an older audience. I feel that you see yourself I guess you can see yourself with some of the kids, vicariously through the kids, like Jonathan or I want to say Jonah, but Jordan, right? I guess they do have those kids in there, but personally for me, I really this is the most relatable Superman I have ever seen, honestly. This is the Superman. This may be my Superman at this point. And maybe that's why, in some form or fashion, I've actually started to get into Superman in the last couple of weeks because of Superman and Lois. Father Superman, Father Kal-El, this is this is one of the best storytelling I've ever seen. With this show is encapsulating everything that I feel Superman should be, or the way people have explained their love and passion about Superman I see in Superman and Lois here, this show, and particularly the fact that it hones in everything about Superman is what he learned as being Clark, the human side of him. And I think that's what's really cool about this show. They did a really good job. And then they, in this particular episode, they started doing this sort of flashback thing with, I almost said Oliver Queen, with Clark as a teenager, and it's very similar to the Leon Yu flashbacks with Oliver Queen, but this one made so much sense and it worked very well. I don't want to really spoil the show for you guys, but I think it did a great parallel of the way Clark remembers his life as a teenager, as his teenage boys are going through their life, and I think that's what it was. Such an emotional moment. I'm choking up just thinking about it at the end of this episode. Let me just say that in the world of DCs, this was by far the best Martha moment that I have seen in the DCEU or in the DC world. This was indeed a great Martha moment. It was well done, man. And it's really kind of upset. I think what it is, and maybe it is because of my age and where I am in my life, is when you start raising kids and you start seeing kids, and yes, you see yourself vicariously. You start to think about how your parents treated you. The moment, well, okay, so it's kind of spoilers or whatever, but essentially where you see the moment where Clark basically decides to be his own man and live his life outside of Smallville, when he decides to leave Smallville for possibly Metropolis or wherever he went. Like, that's rough, man. That was like, I didn't think that was going to get me, but it did. And I think they did a great job in the way they handled that, because you can see the conflict that his children are having right now, Jordan and Jonathan. One of them is doing really well now in Smallville, but the other one, his whole entire fucking life has just fallen apart because he had to move to some hick-ass town. And I love the resolution that Clark, Superman, realizes. It's like, yo, one of his sons is out here getting fucking wasted and drunk and everything, and you know, he could give him a super ass whooping, but that's not going to help the situation. In fact, that's probably going to make the situation work. Anger is not going to solve this. Just being angry and throwing him into the sun or whatever, or just throwing him through a building and being aggressive about it is not going to solve the problem. In fact, it would probably make him worse. But empathizing with him and understanding, yo, I was in your position the same way. You got to be your own person. You got to find your own way. And I also felt like that was a really good truth to character with Jonathan. It's like, when everything is taken away from you and you ain't the shit anymore, that's the true test of a man. Is, are you still going to be that same upstanding character when everything is taken away? So they did a great job. This is a great episode, man. I really enjoyed it, guys. I cannot emphasize enough how much you should be watching this show right now. If you're a fan of Superman, a real fan of Superman, like this really, they did a really good job. It reminds me a lot of the struggles that young Clark Kent went through in the Christopher Reeve's Richard Donner Superman 1 movie, which most of you probably don't even remember, but there were times where he had heartbreak and he was just struggling on Smallville. They did a really good job of bringing that in. Smallville kind of references as well. You know, even Man of Steel. It's been a while, but I remember a lot of when Clark was going around trying to save people. You know, that element, it's all in there in this show, and I think they do a really good job. The color grading has gotten a little bit better as well, where it's not always so dark all the time. So I think they're gradually improving each episode. So, woo! Watch the show, guys. Watch this show. You owe it to yourself, man. Especially after last weekend. There's so many great, like, if you're really a big fan, if you're really interested in Superman, I just realized, even looking at this image, on the left side is kind of Smallville, but on the right side is Metropolis. But if you're looking for something to further your love for DC from the Snyder Cut and what have you not, you know, I highly recommend Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, for more of a continuation of, ideally, pretty much like almost the same sort of story that Snyder is kind of telling. But if you're looking also for things that explore that heart and soul of Man of Steel, this show is perfect. And comic-wise, there's a recommendation I was going to give you for the comics, but Injustice, of course, is an interesting take on Superman as well. Reading the trade paperback, they do a really good job. Tom Taylor is amazing. So the world is very bright for Superman right now, and I'm really excited, and I really encourage all of you guys to check out this show. This was, wow, that was really, really good. Oh boy. Until the next time, guys. Yeah, that's exactly. Him being a father gives the writers a lot of ways to show them in relatable situations that we don't normally get, and it's the writers have been taking advantage of that. Exactly. And on top of that, without spoiling the show, with Luther in this show, in this episode, they did a great job. They just gave you an extra added twist that doesn't seem like like jumping the ship. It actually intrigues it a lot more. It's more intriguing, that last moment, because I was still getting over the Martha moment, where when they threw that other thing in about Luther, without spoiling it, man. So I'm actually very intrigued how they're going to handle it. I can't wait for this show to get back on the air. I want to interview some of these people, man. I want to interview the writer of this show, for reals, man. Yeah. Anyways, check it out, y'all.